Hey guys, Mick here from Kudos Health. Today I want to talk to you about motivation. Now there are two main sort of types of motivation. We have fear-based motivators and love-based motivators. So fear-based motivators are when we have a motivator that we have in our head of something that we want to move away from, or something that we dislike, or something that we don't want to be anymore. So an example of a fear-based motivator might be, I'm exercising because I don't want to be fat, or I'm eating well because I don't want to develop type 2 diabetes, or I'm meditating because I don't want to be an anxious wreck. Yeah, so these are fear-based motivators. You can see that when we talk about them, there's things that someone wants to move away from. And those things that we're talking about, fat, type 2 diabetes, anxious wreck, they're sort of the negative thing that we're moving away from. Now, there's nothing wrong with fear-based motivators, and a lot of the time when people initiate activities to engage in exercise, eating healthy, meditation, fear-based motivators may be where they begin. There's nothing wrong with this. However, the main thing is that long-term, if we're always having fear-based motivators, when we're talking about, I don't want to be fat, I don't want to develop type 2 diabetes, I don't want to be an anxious wreck, those things are our focus. Those things are the sphere and the space in which we live. So when we're thinking about, I don't want to be fat, I don't want type 2 diabetes, I don't want to be an anxious wreck, often subconsciously we get what we don't want in this space. So on the flip side of the coin, we have love-based motivators. So love-based motivators are things that we want to move towards. So in this example of fat, type 2 diabetes, and an anxious wreck, we might say instead of I don't want to be fat, that motivator may be turned to a love-based motivator and be, I want to be the healthiest version of myself possible. I don't want to develop type 2 diabetes. That motivator might be, I want to nourish my body with foods that are going to provide me with energy and vitality. And with the, I don't want to be an anxious wreck, you might meditate because you want to have inner peace, calm, and clarity. So you can see that the focus, rather than fat, type 2 diabetes, and an anxious wreck, become a healthy version of ourselves, nourishing our body with foods that provide energy and vitality, and inner peace, calm, and clarity. So you can see that those three things are much more positive. And when we talk about those, and those are our motivators, we often live in that space, that becomes our world, and we're more drawn towards getting that result. So have a think about behaviors in which you're engaging in at the moment, and your motivators. Are they fear-based motivators, or are they love-based motivators? And again, there's nothing wrong with either or. And again, a lot of the time when we start out, we start with fear-based motivators. But it can be helpful to reframe these into love-based motivators so we can start to move towards what we want rather than the focus still being in the past on what we're trying to move away from.